So before I actually begin, I want to make something clear. I'm not covering the video because, guys, it's my favorite anime. That means I gotta defend it. Speaking as a fan of the anime, there are many problems I can point out myself, ranging from storytelling to errors made by the dub and other such stuff. I just came across this video and saw that it did a poor job pointing out the flaws of the show, and I want to help you, Subsonic, out by calling them out. I mean no ill will with this video, and if I got something wrong, I will gladly admit my faults. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Last time, Azzy X. Azzy was sent to the hospital after receiving third-degree burns from her Blaze of Arcana video. While recovering, she covered both Nitrat and Jimmy Wetzel on the subject of Yokai Watch when she received a phone call about an important object. Just who was on the phone talking to Azzy, and what was the important object Azzy sent them for?
Alright, I'm here.
Finally! I didn't think it'd take someone this long to find a hospital room.
Well, I mean, have you ever needed to inconspicuously find a hospital room and bring in a time machine?
Fair point.
Anyways, can I ask why you need to travel back in time?
Well, pardon me for ripping off Ryan, but if I told you that there was a guy who about a year ago made an awful review of a mediocre anime, what would you say?
You know what? I honestly wouldn't be shocked.
Well, that happens. So, see ya. Post time space in the day when I come back.
Whoa, wait a sec!
Alright, so I have the video, I have the avatar, and I have a script. Now all I need is one thing. An intro with Sonic Generations music! Aww, yeah!
Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, have to keep moving on. Guess what lies ahead? Only one way to find out. Let's keep on moving ahead. No time for guessing, follow my plan instead. Trusting in what you can see. Take my lead, I'll set you free.
Hello everyone, this is Azzy101 and welcome to the Dust of Time and Space. Today's target is Subsonic Sparkle, a YouTuber who mainly does anime reviews, and he did a review of Sonic Edge which went... Well, I'm doing this commentary on it. How well do you guys think it went? With that said, let's get started by skipping the first 4 minutes. I do have a few things to mention for that time span. 1. Did you really need to spend over a third of the video just to add context for the review? I mean, I understand why, but it seems a bit like overkill. Like, cut some of the parts down a bit so you can spend more time on reviewing the show and maybe giving more TO to the parts that need it. 2. At the part when you mentioned that the adaptation needed to change character's personality, you stated that it happened to Hello Kitty by giving her a mouth. However, that's not the case. The physical design of a character has nothing to do with their personality, but rather the writing that went into the character. Did giving Hello Kitty a mouth change her personality? No? Then shush. And 3, this part.
Anyway, one thing that Sonic has never really been all that capable of is telling a story, for the simple reason that Sonic is kind of a terrible character, at least within the context of a television series, and there's a very simple reason as to why. You see, Sonic the Hedgehog was designed to be a sprite, with a persona easily understood at a glance, a speedy hero with insatiable levels of tood. That's it. It's a persona so stock and rudimentary that it largely relies on the individual writers to do the heavy lifting when it comes to giving it actual personality. In other words, there are literally hundreds of ways you could interpret this character, and it largely comes down to writing him around whatever story the author wants to tell.
Keep this in the back of your head because this will be important way later. Anyway, let's get started. Again.
Sonic! Wait, you're not Sonic! Dr. Eggman!
Maria. So the show begins with Sonic and all his mutant animal friends getting teleported from their home world to Earth, and the show already doesn't really make any sense. Since when was Sonic not on Earth? At no point in any of the games it suggests that Sonic games take place on some alien planet or another dimension, so what was even the point of this plot conceit? The original script simply states they came from another world, but the dub translates this as Mobius, which is really just a setting made up for the TV shows and comics. If you look back at the manuals of the original games, in none of them at any point in any region is Mobius even mentioned. There was nothing to suggest the Sonic games didn't take place on Earth, so again, why was this necessary?
Wait, what? When did the dub ever say Mobius? Cause if I remember correctly, they only called it Sonic's World. Seriously though, I had to look it up and even ask friends about this, and everything basically points to this not being the case. If you want to make such a claim like this, you need to present proof of this happening. And sorry to say, but until you show something to prove this point, I'm not taking your word for it.
In the anime, Sonic arrives on Earth and acts as though he's never seen humans before. But Eggman's seemingly human and he's from Mobius, so how does that make any sense? And to complicate things even further, Sonic X eventually starts adapting the stories from the Sonic Adventure games, in which humanity plays a central role in the narrative, and once again, Mobius is never mentioned. So it's like they're taking one canon and taking another canon and just cramming them together to the point that none of them make any sense.
While the first point regarding to Eggman is fine, your next point about how it doesn't work because of the adventure plots falls flat due to how the anime is structured. The plots only happen in Season 2, after Season 1 spent its entire run basically having the humans and Sonic, alien, people things get used to one another existing. Now, is it done well? Not really, since by the end of the Chaos arc, you think the humans would love Sonic, then the Shadow arc comes in and guys, we need Sonic arrested! Now! Kinda comes out of nowhere considering the 3 arcs we had beforehand. But you didn't cover that. You just said it's bad because adventure plots exist and humans play a big role. Actually, wait a minute. Did humans have that big of a role in the adventure games? Like, maybe too, considering the expansion to Eggman's family and the inclusion of Gun. But for adventure, the humans were just background decoration. I mean, you could argue Eggman, but he doesn't count since he's been there since day 1. Hey, Subsonic, I think you might want to fix that reasoning of yours a bit, because it's kind of faulty.
It's mind-blowing how incompatible the various components of this franchise are, but keep in mind, everything about this character and his world is completely open to interpretation. Remember how in the games, a single ring gives Sonic unbelievable bursts of power?
You know how this anime is an adaptation of the Sonic games? Yeah, that actually is kinda important. Considering the Ring's original purpose was to basically act as an extra hit, and Sonic X is clearly a shonen battle anime similar to shows like DBZ, Pokemon, and Kirby, just to name a few, what would the Ring in its original state do? Since this is a show where people knock one another silly. I mean, episode 26 has Sonic beat into a pulp by one of Eggman's robots. I don't think a ring would help in that situation. Also, I love how for your already dragged out joke, you have a tier image that has a white background. Learn to mask. Or find a PNG without a background. I honestly don't care.
Sonic! Wait, you're not Sonic! Dr. Eggman!
Maria. What is this obsession with shoehorning human characters into franchises where they simply don't belong? Seriously, what is the reasoning behind this? This seems to happen constantly. It's not pleasant to watch.
Okay, if you want to prove your point, maybe you could have not used a series about ponies and alien robots that had humans since day 1. Sure, LMP later drops the humans into Equestria Girls, but humans were still part of the series. Also, doesn't Sonic and Smurf also fall into the had humans since day 1 thing? I mean, Eggman is a human. Gargamel is a human. I know they're comical to a degree, but they're still humans. So, what gap in logic here is taken to make it so jarring? Also states humans don't belong. Is somehow okay with the adventure games having humans? I don't get you, Subsonic. I really don't.
Sonic's stupid friends slowly reunite with all their flaws intact and in perfect glory. If I didn't make it clear before, my criticisms of Sonic's character extends to everyone in the franchise, foremost among them being that they were all designed as sprites first and his characters second.
Hey, do you still have that thing in the back of your mind? Cause guess what was the contest for this point? Okay, but to the actual point. Rouge and Shadow. Characters that didn't start off as sprites. Characters that started as characters. Characters that are in this anime. Can I leave now? Tiny Space is proving to be very painful.
Knuckles kicks off this big fight with Sonic because he thinks he's a thief or whatever, before realizing that he's been tricked and they're actually on the same team. Which could have been cool if this wasn't like the 5th time the scenario is taking place. They just keep resetting his character arc because he's defined by that character arc. Eggman may be the very worst on a conceptual level. Sometimes he's a bumbling idiot with dumb catchphrases and henchmen, and other times he's straight up Colonel Gaddafi. Are you seeing the problem here? Are you seeing why these characters can't carry a show like this? The reason Sonic X fails so spectacularly is because these are barely characters at all. They're just ideas, basic character templates with intentionally paper-thin personas. In the context of a side-scrolling platformer from the 90s, that's perfectly reasonable. Hell, it's preferable. When you have characters this expressive and easy to understand, you can tell stories with them just using visual cues and imagery, negating the need for cutscenes or on-screen text to advance the story. In a 78-episode story-driven series, however, they're in way over their heads, and bloating the cast with all these colourful, superfluous faces is not gonna help.
So, why would the Sonic cast starting off with simple ideas be a bad thing, since by that logic, all characters are bad? Don't believe me? Watch. Monica Magica featuring the sweet girl, childhood tomboy, and mentor. My Hero Academia featuring the inspiring hero, the underdog, and the bully. Sailor Moon featuring the 5-man band as girls. Batman featuring the vigilante. All the characters started off as simple ideas, but it was the writing behind the characters that made them good. So why aren't you focusing on Sonic X's writing? Especially since there are several moments where you can show off the bad writing. Heck, you do this for Chris, so why not do it for other characters like Sonic? For example, one scene of the first episode shows off that Sonic is quite concerned with being the only one stuck on Earth. This actually could show potential to go further into Sonic's side of his relationship with his friends and how he views them, and thus expand upon his character. But what did the writers do? They dropped it as soon as the second episode and never touched on it again, leading to Sonic's character not being as fleshed out as it could be. But instead of focusing on the poor writing, you focus on the ideas. Please, Subsonic, learn it's not the ideas that make a character, it's how those ideas are executed.
Sonic! Wait, you're not Sonic! Dr. Eggman!
Maria. Also, remember when I said that the ideal atmosphere for a Sonic the Hedgehog series is one with an emphasis on fun and light? Well, Sonic X is as far from that as you could possibly be. Unsurprisingly, the combination of the show's incompetent setting and shallow characters results in it becoming one of the most convoluted, incomprehensible train wrecks of a narrative I've ever seen. Like, I can't even really remember what the hell was happening towards the end. Something about a spaceship and fixing the moon, and Tails falls in love with this Moe Brussels sprout. I don't freaking know, people. And no, I did not rewatch the whole thing for the sake of this video. Don't pretend like you would have.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You mean you didn't rewatch the anime to make sure you didn't miss anything? Considering how you admit you don't even remember that much of Season 3, and you started this review by spreading misinformation about Mobius, why shouldn't you have rewatched even a little bit in order to make sure you didn't miss anything? Also, implying no one would watch Sonic X. Well, to that I say this. Hi, wannabe reviewer here. Guess who has watched Sonic X multiple times?
And if you're thinking, well, this was a series designed for little boys who are supposed to be into that stuff, keep in mind, I was a little boy when I watched this show, and even then I struggled to wrap my head around just what the hell was happening.
Implying that little boys thought the same way as you. Implying that little boys struggled like you. Fucking implying.
How did anyone at any stage of this show's production think it was a good idea for a franchise this cute and simple to start taking itself so damn seriously? So much ridiculousness is crammed into this series that it's just overwhelming. Like, Eggman's grandfather starts building super weapons in space and his little daughter gets shot by the government or something. Apparently Jun Maeda took a swing at this script too. So if Eggman's from Mobius, I guess his grandfather is too, so she must have been shot by Mobius soldiers, but they're clearly human, and also somehow they work for the Earth's president? I can't even...
But that was in Adventure 2. With Eggman's grandfather. And Maria. And... Nope! Okay, guys, I'm officially done. So Sonic doesn't know that's Sonic. Nope. Also, the anime in the dub does kind of explain the whole General Robotnik things, as Eggman does realize that he must be from Earth, but somehow gone onto Sonic's planet. And in the Homebound arc, it explains that Earth and Sonic's world were one, but then split up due to dimension stuff. Did you pay attention at all?
Sonic! Wait, you're not Sonic! Dr. Eggman!
Maria. Anyway, the most crucial change to the original series that 4Kids made was right around its climactic end. Spoiler alert, I guess. In fact, never mind, the hell's working since 2016, really. Anyway, so for whatever reason I can't understand, the crew ends up in a situation in which Tails has to kill the Brussels sprout girl so she can spread her seeds and save the galaxy or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, here's the scene of the original Japanese broadcast.
And it's going, and 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 going,
How long is this gonna go on?
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
No! No! Bad Subsonic! Get your poor taste in means out of my soup kitchen! Okay, did you have to play out these scenes for a long as heck time, followed by a poorly done Green Hill cover and 2 media clips, one of which has been overused and isn't used in a creative way at all? You could have easily just sung what happened in the Japanese version, the dub version, then explain why the dub is inferior to the original. Boom! You got your point across without making anyone want to play Sudoku. And there's not much else I can cover. Except...
Maria!
Hey everyone, do you love me and my videos so much that you can't even wait in between videos?
Well, you see...
Heck no!
Ah! Wait, Dash? What the heck are you doing in a time machine?
I came to show you my love and support, bae.
At the cost of breaking time and space as we know it?
Said the one who is breaking time and space to do a commentary.
Fair point. Just, could you hang in the back so I can do my final thoughts?
Sure thing, my love.
Anyway, Subsonic, you did a thing. Not gonna lie, this was the most frustrating video I had to cover by myself. I also think I could explain this in 3 sections. 1. Presentation. While not the worst of 2016, this video could have been edited so much better. Jokes were often dragged out to near boredom, and overall I feel like you could have presented more clips to back up your points better. If you still do this, shorten your jokes a bit and make better use of pacing and trying to fit in better clips. Timing is everything, especially in comedy. 2. The basic idea mentality. I honestly hate this mentality. Like, I love it to the utmost degree, because it seems like it does more harm than good. While having a fully fleshed out character from the word go might be a good idea, who's to say that a character that isn't as fleshed out and called a 3-dimensional character would automatically be a bad thing? With its perks, it allows the author in question to leave the character up to interpretation, to be experimental, and can work well if done right. And thus it can lead to interesting ways as to how the characters develop. Now, granted, Sonic X is definitely far from perfect. I will admit that myself, and heck, I proved it myself. But this mentality you possess really limits views on things. And speaking of your Sonic knowledge, 3. Lack of knowledge. Look, I get if you play the games or whatever, that's fine. I'm not gonna complain about you playing Sonic games, I don't care. But boasting, or in this case self-deprecating, the title of a Sonic fan is an ill-fitting description since there was little in this video to validate it. Sure, you knew the characters' names and the basis like that, but you get things wrong like the Mobius pick, or more substantially, forgetting how much human involvement there was in both adventure games, SA2's plot when Maria got involved as shown by your confusion of the scene in the anime, even though you said in the beginning that the anime adapted the plot, and the rest of Season 3, which was the worst case of it. With many more said before. Like, holy crap, I have never seen anyone with such forgotten mind when reviewing. Even with that, there were ways around it, like replaying or rewatching the series relevant to the topic at hand, or at least doing some research for refreshing the topic in your head. Overall, Subsonic, I know you still do stuff nowadays, and I understand this review is already around a year old, but still, this was a clear example of a trash review. Everything from your laziness, to your lack of knowledge, to your forgetfulness, to your flawed mentality. This video was just... no. I just hope things are better nowadays. Alrighty, finally, the commentary is finished. Jeez, that one was tiring. But hey, I think I did a good. Hopefully. Possibly. Maybe. Probably not, but who cares? And the time machine is ready, so let's head back. Home, here I come! Yeah, I am back. Time to go trail some yokai!